Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Johnny here, and today we're looking at the demo that dropped for the First Berzerker. I've played it on PS5 and PC, so I'm gonna be talking to you about the cool stuff that I'm really excited about for the game, some of the drawbacks and issues that I had on the different systems, what you may expect from the demo, and why I think you should really try this if you have the itch for a Souls game. This might be one of the most interesting offerings in the genre. So let's get into it. I'm gonna show you some gameplay here and explain some of these systems that the game offers, and you'll be able to more or less see what the game is going for. It's got this sort of stylized, a little bit anime-like, with some cell shading going on, right? In fact, if I remove my helmet, you can see it's pretty much full anime. And honestly, I'm sort of into it. I'm a little bit halfway. I don't know about you guys. You let me know. But shortly after, the game introduces you to the basic mechanics, which are those of any Souls game, really. You know, you got your dodge, your block. So, see, yeah, there you go. You got your perfect block like that. You can also block projectiles. You can also get hit by projectiles, like I exemplified very well. And then you also have the ability to break enemies' guards. So if you see the bar under the enemy there, that's their, well, their stamina or their fortitude. I forget exactly what the term is, but once you get through that with heavy attacks, which are these sort of slower, more powerful attacks, once you get through that bar, they're open to like a sort of a brutal attack that does a lot of damage. So that's sort of the bread and butter of the combat. You also have your light attacks that are much faster and deal comparatively more damage, but the heavy attacks deal more damage to stance, right? Okay, so I think we have our first bigger enemy here. We'll see if we can show a little bit more of the blocking there. There we go. So you can see we can block almost every attack. There will be some attacks that are like unblockable and we need to dodge. Ooh. Okay. Let's heal up. Bam. Cool. Let's go for a full combo here. So you can see we broke his entire stamina bar, right? So now we deal a lot of damage. And he sort of resets that bar, so we have to get through it again. Alright. And one thing that they don't tell you when you start off the demo, but I'm gonna tell you right now, is that there's a pretty big skill tree in the game as well that will give you new moves. So think about like Stellar Blade, where as you progress you get a lot of new combos you can execute. Another staple of the genre is the bonfires, right? So the same system is here, where we go to a bonfire, we got a bunch of souls, what they call lacrima, and so yeah, you got your basic stats here: vitality for HP, endurance for stamina, strength for damage, willpower for stamina recovery, and guard stamina damage decrease. So basically like your stamina economy, right? And then proficiency, which actually increases the stamina damage you deal, and the dodge stamina cost gets reduced. So these are pretty interesting, but note that we don't have like a magic stat, right? So this is, it's just all purely physical damage, which honestly I'm okay with. We're just gonna get some basic vitality and stamina. Basically, what seems to me to be the case is that stamina is one of the big limiters to how much damage you can deal. Because if you look at this, just one heavy combo already takes half of your HP bar. Now, if in addition to that you are dodging, look at that. The dodge actually takes a good chunk of stamina. So if you dodge and then you start a heavy combo, that's almost all of your stamina bar gone. And if you're ever caught without stamina, you're going to, you know, stagger back and probably get hit, take a bunch of damage. So that's always something to consider, guys, is that your stamina is actually a big limiting factor to how much damage you can deal. And sometimes, really? Sometimes, stamina is actually one of the most interesting things to level up early, so you can dish out bigger combos. Okay, so as we get into this new area, we're also going to talk about another question. Oh, damn. Okay. We're also going to talk about another question that is sure to come up, which is fair. What about the difficulty? You may be wondering, is this a difficult game, right? Like normally, Souls games tend to be difficult, tend to be challenging, and very often they don't have difficulty adjustments for people. Well, I'm happy to tell you that this game does have a difficulty option. So as soon as you, I think when you get through the first boss, like the first real boss. Really? Oh my god. Okay, we're getting wrecked by these monkeys, dude. Hold up. Show yourself. There you go. Anyway, yeah, once you're after the first boss, you're gonna get an option to play in the normal intended difficulty, or there is a lower difficulty for people who want to go for that. And so at least you have the option. I personally, I'm not one of those gatekeeper people who say, you know, you should never have a easier mode in Souls games. I think the more options, the better. With that said, I'm not someone who would play at a lower difficulty, simply because I think that the intended challenge from the devs is part of what excites me in these games. There we go. Damn. Another thing that I forgot to mention, by the way, is that once you do break the stamina of your enemy like that, you get your full stamina bar back, which is something you can play around. If you know you're gonna break their guard bar, you can then like use your entire stamina without fear of being open to attacks, because you know you're gonna get it back, right? Not a big fan of the jumping monkeys, but hey, we're gonna get through it. But yeah, so that's on the difficulty, and the normal difficulty has been absolutely fine so far, by the way. I don't think this is a particularly unforgiving Souls game. This is purely based on the demo, by the way. So, you know, take whatever I say with a grain of salt. When it comes to the full game, we're gonna have to see. But in the demo, everything has seemed very reasonable in terms of difficulty. And I'm sure there will be some difficulty spikes, even in the demo itself. There is a boss that was much more challenging than the rest of the content. And I'm purposely not gonna show that fight to you, because I thought it was a very cool fight. Just take my word for it. There is some really cool stuff in this game, even based on what I saw in the demo itself. So again, if you have the itch for a bit of a Souls thing, I think this is maybe really interesting to check out. The drawback is that everything is very cookie cutter when it comes to the Souls formula. So, you know, you got your block, parry, dodge, and everything is very much reminiscent to Dark Souls. So even down to the fact that you can't jump, and you got, you know, the backstabs that I'm trying to showcase here. There we go. everything is very reminiscent of Souls. And so don't expect something like super different. At least so far, that hasn't been the case. Ooh. Okay. So you can see there, he broke my guard, right? So I got staggered for a brief moment. Let's heal back. Okay. And it seems like, to me at least, both dodging and parrying and blocking are actually all viable so far. Interesting. Okay. Put that one on. That seems a little bit better. So just showcasing the inventory system here a little bit, you can see that it's a little bit reminiscent of a Neo style inventory where you actually can get multiples of the same gear piece but with different stats or levels and stuff like that. So in that sense, whether you liked Neo's system or not, that might influence your decision. One thing I do really like is the fact that everything shows on your character. This is a bit more of a cosmetic point. You can see I got a level 6 version of the same weapon I was using, and I can equip that, get a bit more damage. And you can see at the top we have the gear categories. This is a dual wield category. We're going to unlock many more weapon categories as we go, guys. Okay, there's gonna be a great sword and a bunch of other stuff. So lots of different weapons with their movesets, and each weapon is going to have its own perk tree that is quite significant. So think about, again, going back to Stellar Blade as an example, we're gonna have like different move sets and different moves we can unlock. Okay. 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 I see. Okay, we're getting cheesed. We're getting cheesed by the archer in the back, huh? The oldest trick in the book. Okay. Let me grab this. There you go. Got a bit of lore. I think I can just let you be. I'll let you guys have fun with each other. How about that? Cool. And you will also see shortcuts. Talking about cookie cutter Souls systems, right? One thing that we know and love from Souls games is your shortcuts. And of course, these are here too. I go back to my bonfire and I get to upgrade again. Let's get another point in strength. There we go. A bit more damage. So yeah, overall, I am quite pleased with what's here. It's right now, I need to see like full reviews of the full game, but there's a good chance I will be picking this up myself to play it. Simply because the more I've played the demo, the more it's sort of grown on me. And especially towards the end of it, there is some really cool stuff that, again, I'm not gonna spoil. I'm gonna show only these like earlier area enemies for you guys here, so you can get a bit of a taste of what the combat is like. But hopefully you can see that the parrying and blocking system is actually fairly forgiving. So look at that. I can actually use the parry button quite a bit. A little bit like Sekiro, and I don't really get punished for it, right? So I can like spam my block like this a little bit, looking for the perfect position. And really allows you to like learn the moves of the enemies. So look at that. I'm not really doing anything special here, right? But we're blocking like pretty much every attack he does. So I think the game does a good job giving you these earlier enemies that really allow you to hone in some of these systems. It's almost like a little bit of a tutorial But oh, okay, we got grabbed. Oh no. My worst enemy in Souls games is always the grab. Ooh, okay. Look for a heal timer here. Oh, yeah. Okay. I didn't know that attack. Bam. Boom. Awesome. So now he regains his bar. What are you gonna do now? Oh. Okay. Actually dodged it. Awesome. Ooh. Bam! Good damage there. Ooh. Not the butt. Oh! Okay. That's the scariest attack because the grab does a massive amount of damage. You have to learn the range because, especially with this weapon, your range is not that big. So you really have to get quite close to the enemy. So here, I know I'm gonna break his guard. So I can just greed for a few extra attacks. Oh. Oh. Almost got him first try. Alright, let's go at it again.
Peace at last.
So when we die, this is maybe a good showcase. I can go here. I can get my Lacrima back. And actually, that gives me another level up. So we actually got a little bit from fighting the boss, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but that's sort of what it looks like. So I can actually go in here and potentially get, for example, a point in proficiency, right? So we get a bit better stamina damage. So I'm gonna have another crack at the boss here, and hopefully we'll get it this time. But this is gonna wrap up my early impressions. I hope you enjoyed. And I hope that this gave you an idea of what the game has to offer, and it's getting you sort of excited if it's the right fit for you. So we're gonna go into the boss here. You can stick around and watch the boss fight if you like, but if not, thank you for being here, and we'll see you on the next one.